Hi. It's been a really long time. Oh my goodness. Months. Anyway, I'm fine. I just kind of felt like I had nothing to say anymore. I guess I blabbed on enough. But something I wanted to mention. Dog behavior, body language. Okay. Something that people tend to, humans, it's dog body language, not human body language, so it's different. Okay, so let's get right to it. You can go online and find this pretty much anywhere. Maybe that's why I didn't cover it before. But if a dog is turning their head, they're saying, and they're turning away from you, and you're like trying to, talk to them or confront them in any way, especially if you're confronting them, that means, I don't want any trouble. Please go away. I really don't want any trouble. So they're not being rude. It's called appeasement. They're trying to appease you. Lifting the paw. This thing here, when they lift their paw, people are always giving me his paw to shake hands. No, that's an appeasement gesture. It's like kind of the same idea. It's like, oh my God, oh look, oh please, kind of like that. Squinting the eyes, kind of like, ooh, that's another one that means kind of the same thing. Ears back, people get. It's like, and let me see what some of the other ones. The submissive grin that goes with that. Some people, he's growling. Well, there's no growl coming out, and everything else about the dog looks like, and they're doing that with the front teeth, that kind of with the front teeth. That's called a submissive grin. That's a dog that's like, please leave me alone, I'm scared. Please don't bother me. Then you have submissive urination, which is like no fun, and they pee on your shoe. They're like so happy or so nervous that they pee on your shoe. And it means basically that. It's like, kind of attitude. And if you reprimand them in any way at that point, it'll get worse. And if you bend over them, it will cause it. Because you're bending over. It's scary to a dog. Even a bigger dog can get frightened by it. Oops, I got my girls here. Girls, be quiet, please. Hopefully that will work. So that's the type of thing. Those are appeasement. The wiggly waggly down low, kind of coming up to you with the tail going like this, and the kind of maybe tucked a little, and all of those are appeasement gestures. They're not apologizing. They don't feel bad. They don't feel guilty. It's not that. Dogs do that to one another, and you can watch it with dogs. I mean, they don't feel guilty. I mean, why would a dog, I feel guilty because what? One dog to another, So, misinterpreted body language, very common and understandable. Let's see. The tail. Oh, he was wagging his tail. I never expected him to bite. Do you know that police dogs in their on-duty police dogs, appropriately so, who are in full attack mode, and they're not supposed to really bite. They're supposed to hold. Okay, but setting that aside for a second, a dog that is highly aroused, the tail is going like that. They're not happy. They're highly aroused. Now, they could see a deer, and it could do this, or it could just go straight out because it's like, ooh, look at that, a deer. Okay, and then it might go, whoa, or people coming in the house, whoa. That could be reactivity. There's so many things. You have to look at the whole dog. Look at their face, look at their whole body. Is it tense? Is it relaxed and moving calmly? Just like la la la. Then you have a nice relaxed dog, and the tail is sashaying back and forth. Fine, all is well. The face is relaxed. But if you see tenseness in the face or the body, really, I tell people, forget the tail. Just it happens. There's the propeller tail that goes around in a circle. There's wagging to the left, wagging to the right, high wagging, low, middle, low, tight, high and tight. There's so many things, and they happen so fast. And certain breeds don't have tails, so it's even more difficult to read. And some breeds have naturally curled up tails, so I tell people, forget about the tail. Forget about it, as they say. Okay, and just concentrate on the face and the body. Hopefully you can see their eyes. Now some breeds you can't see their eyes. Their mouth and their body. When a dog is relaxed, their body looks relaxed, and they're like relaxed, and their mouth is usually maybe slightly open, just kind of like just normal breathing, just hanging out. They might be, if they're excited or they're stressed, it would be more like that. That's not happy. But if you see a dog that's just kind of hanging out, looking around, and something happens and they go, that mouth closes and the head kind of comes up like that, they're saying, what's going on? What's that? They might be noticing something, hearing something, seeing something. I don't know. Depends on the context. Context. What's happening around the dog? What's happening in the environment? What does the overall dog look like? Okay, their whole body. I want to say something about dogs meeting dogs. Please, honestly, trust me on this. When you see another dog, unless you know them very well, your dog knows them very well, and everybody's on the same page, just go your own way. Stay away on a leash. Now, in a dog park, well, of course, a dog park's a dog park, and everybody's liable for their dog. But on a leash, when you walk into another dog like this, and dog, here, like this, you're looking at a situation that could potentially, and common, very frequently, turns into one of those. And then it was, and they take their dogs away. Please don't do that. It's very stressful for the dogs and for the people, obviously. Humans at the other end of the leash, holding the leash way back here, and the dog's way out there at the other end of a 6-foot leash, and the dogs are nose to nose, and everything's tense and tight. Kind of, there you go. Not a good thing. And if one dog is friendly but the other dog's reactive, well, it's just, the whole thing is just, don't do it. When you're walking your dog on a 6-foot leash, I'd like to see a 15-footer that you keep in a cowboy loops, and then you let it out when it's appropriate, and then you cowboy loop it back up. Not wrapped around your hand. Never do that. Customer, her mother broke her wrist recently by doing that. Very dangerous. Don't wrap. No. You want to learn how to hold your leash properly. You can either use your thumb and hold it like that, or you can put it on if it's a dog that's not going to drag you down, if they're on a head collar or they're smaller and you're bigger. Really depends on, again, context. Size of the dog, size of the human, context of the situation, what the dog's temperament is, a lot of things. Anyway, so when you're walking, you want to have your dog paying attention to you. That's really what you want. So that you let your dog go out and see. They don't have to be like, whoa, like I can't take my eyes off of you. It doesn't have to be like that. That's focused walking, and there's places for that in situations, at context again, and then there's, casual, let the dog roam around. You give them 15 feet, and you're in an appropriate area, and they can sniff around, not in people's yards. I have a thing about don't go in people's yards. Not nice. But letting your dog mosey back and forth, and then no man land designated areas where he can go sniff, she can go sniff, do their business. Please pick it up, and don't leave the bag. Thank you. Pick it up, take the bag, and leave with that. It belongs to you and your dog. So anyway, your dog, when you say, okay, let's go, Fido, come on, honey, let's go, and they hear that and they go, oh, okay, we're leaving, and they trot away with you. And if they're, they're not pulling you, they're aware of where you are. If you change position and if you change direction, I should say, and go in a different direction, they are aware of that, and they follow you with maybe a cue of like this, like she just heard me do that, that's why she came in. You want your dog to be aware and in tune with you like that. Now, some dogs are better than others at being like, oh, my human is there, and they're calling me and they're talking to me. Other dogs are a little more independent. Depends on the dog, personality, breed, those things. But it's your job to condition your dog to pay attention to you. That's very important. And So I am going to let this go right now because I have a call and it might be important. So, bye-bye. Oh, wait, oh, that's because this is not a touch screen.